This is Chris of Peaceable Solutions. I just want to share with you some nuggets as it relates to communication. Do you not realize that it's not what you say, but it's how it's said? I think often we miss the opportunity to really consider what's coming out of our mouth. Often it said, even in the text, it says it's not what goes in a man that defiles him, but what comes out. Meaning you cannot take back what's been said, and what's on the inside of the heart will flow through the mouth. So it's important that we learn effective communication skills. If you look at the couple behind me, there's evidently was some kind of miscommunication, and it's shown through their body language, and there's a disconnect between them. Look at the distance, look at the facial expression. There's no smile, there's no aha moment, there's no let's connect. It's just like, really? For real? Are you serious? Right? Well, okay, got you. All right. There's like a dismissiveness. Um, One thing I often have experienced is when it comes to communications that we often do not know how to communicate effectively. And the challenge is not necessarily the other person, it's really within ourselves. We haven't necessarily been taught the skills to effectively emote our feelings, our inner self, what's going on the inside, how we feel. We often give one word or text message statements. How are you doing? Fine. Where you going? Over there, or up the street, up the road. Everything is kind of short and canned. Coming up in school, I was taught to speak in complete sentences. So I gave a workshop the other day, and I was sharing with the class. I was like, um, "So what? Why should I hire you?" I was doing an interview class. I was like, "Why should I hire you?" And they began to go down a list of things, but not without saying, "You should hire me because." Well, I should be a part of your team because they just started listing off the things that they thought were necessary for me to hire them. I believe it's necessary that we go back to intimate communication because it brings about a connection that is often overlooked, especially in a society in the times that we live in. Most people go to school 4 years of college and longer. If you go up to higher education, as it relates to your master's, your doctorate level, certifications, all of that's required. But most people do not go to school for relationship. And it's simply relating to another person. And I don't care what kind of ship you're in, whether it be family ship, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a work ship, we're constantly relating to other people. So I want us to know that it's impossible for a relationship to be perfect. It is impossible. You're dealing with two individuals who have two different ways of thinking, who come from two different cultures. I mean, I'm talking about households. I'm not even talking about ethnicity. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about just two different cultures where you were raised one way and you were raised in another family. You have a different experience. So all of that impacts how we uh, perceive life as well as how we perceive others. But here are some points that I want to share with you. Everything that we feel needs to be said, I believe needs to be said. However, it's timing. Timing is everything. In the book Before Agreements, one of the statements is be impeccable with your words. And for me, I do not like to apologize, and I do not like to have to repeat myself. That is one thing I do not like to have to do, is apologize or repeat myself. Now, it's not that I will not apologize. I don't like having to apologize, which means I don't like offending anyone. All right. But I realize that I may, and it will be unbeknownst to me. I may push a trigger that I don't even know I'm triggering. Make sense? And that's common. That's going to happen. However, when we practice considering others, when we practice empathy, we're able to connect with others in a way where they understand and they feel that we are sincere about them. How many of you really want to enhance your relationship in a way of communication? You're not looking for perfection, but you're looking to operate in excellence. There's a difference between perfection, there's a difference between excellence, and it's all in a mindset. All right. There's certain things that require perfection, such as a surgery, but there are also things that require excellence, which means there is a mindset of I'm doing this to the best of my ability. However, it may not meet your standard. It is subject to your scrutiny. All right. So give me some pointers, give me some insight, and I will if you approach me the right way, I will consider what you're saying. So tonight I want to talk about soft startups. Most of us feel like, oh, I got to give you a piece of my mind, or I got to one up you. So if you say something, I have to say something. If you do something, I have to do something. That's not contributing to harmony in relationship. And most of us desire to be in relationship. We just don't know how. We've taken cues from our family of origin. We've taken cues from transgenerational trauma. We've taken cues from our own personal experiences that allow us to think that, wow, when I do this, this is the result that I will get. And this is what keeps people off of me, or this is what causes people to shut down. When we're in an argument, and you will have disagreements. I don't believe in arguments because an argument is trying to see who's right or wrong, trying to prove a point. I call it intense fellowship instead of an argument. Now, you may say, well, Chris, what's the difference? For me, it's a mindset. Everything is a mindset. If I have an intense fellowship with you, I may not understand you and you may not understand me. However, let's peel the layers. It may become emphatic, but it will remain respectful. When we're arguing, we usually move into the realm of disrespect. Disrespect of the other person's feelings, disrespect of the other person's perspective, disrespect of another person's lack of knowledge in certain areas. So let's touch base on soft startup. In the text, in the book, in the Bible, it says, it is impossible that offenses will not occur. But it says, beware of by whom the offense comes. All right. So you're going to have offenses. It's impossible, but be aware of by whom the offense comes. So let's look at some stats. It says, when bringing up a problem to your partner, you have the first 3 minutes, which are critical. Those first 3 minutes are crucial to the conversation. And a soft startup sets a positive tone, allowing us to be able to understand that, listen, I'm coming to bring something to your attention. I'm coming to address a matter that ultimately, the end result is a resolve, not a win, a resolve, a clarity and understanding. All right. So it says, by starting calmly and respectfully, you and the other person are more likely to focus on the problem and not one another. The problem and not one another. All right. So the first thing we want to do is what? Save the conversation for the right moment. Save it for the right moment. So in the heat of the moment, is it necessary to be stated? Is it wise to be said? What will others think if I say this in this moment? Often it is necessary to self-soothe. It is imperative that we self-soothe. There have been times when I've been bothered and I've ruminated in my mind over and over again about the matter. And I'm telling you, I've been around here talking to myself. I'd be around just walking and feeling it within. But I talk to myself. I talk myself down. I think about it. And there are things I will say out loud to myself, such as, how do you know? Because you don't know. Those things help to calm me down and bring me into reality. Now, the next step I take is, Chris, your feelings are legitimate. Your feelings do matter. You are a whole person, all right? So your feelings matter. So what we want to do is, in that calm moment, we want to wait for the time when you and your partner are alone without distractions and interruptions. You may want to even ask, can we have a moment? Or can I talk to you for a moment? All right. Now, I always say you are one another's audience, which means I always tell couples, know your audience's attention span. All right. You may be to talk and ramble for 15 minutes. However, your partner may be lost in the first 3. All right. So what you want to do is take bullet points and make bullet points, not try to list everything in one conversation, but you want to do it in a way of, let's discuss this. All right. Make sure you and your partner are relaxed, not tired, hungry, or stressed. I've heard women and men say, after work, I want to come home and just relax. But he or she wants to talk immediately. All right, let's set some rules of engagement. Those rules of engagement are, babe, you know what? I really want to hear what you have to say. However, can I just relax or wind down for a few minutes? I've had a long day, and to give you my undivided attention and to give this matter my undivided attention, can you just give me a few minutes to just decompress. All right. Is that fair? I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Do you think that'll work? If you think that'll work, give me a thumbs up. Say, I think that'll work. Put that in the comments. Now, the next one is use gentle body language and tone of voice. Gentle body language, not irate, not erratic, but gentle body language. So this is not gentle body language. 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 All right. Most of us want to talk. All right. All right. Gentle body language is take a moment and an attitude of teamwork and problem solving rather than arguing or blaming. Mind you, guys, we're not looking for perfection, we're looking for excellence. It may take time to undo learned behavior, but my motto is if we can learn behavior, we can unlearn the behavior. Okay. Seriously, you can unlearn it. You can, I say unlearn it, meaning you can stop practicing the learned behavior and redirect yourself. All right. So use gentle body language. A lot of times people talk with their hands. Sometimes people get in your face. That is not gentle body language. In fact, that is actually provoking body language. Speak calmly without raising your voice. Avoid hurtful body language such as eye rolling, scowling, or mocking. All right. For example, you always, you always do that, and then the other person said, "You always do that." Like that's degrading. That's dismissive. Um, it's childish. Needless to say, it's childish, but it's sometimes what people do. Sometimes we carry that behavior over from what we've seen, which was demonstrated. Sometimes it's learned behavior. All right. And guys, in the day we live in, sometimes social media influences us. So again, in your relationship, you want to know what works best for you. I don't think anyone goes into a relationship looking to argue. All right. I can't wait to your relationship, boy, because I can't wait to argue with this person. Yeah. No, I don't think anyone gets in relationship to argue. I don't think anyone gets in relationship to get divorced. I think what happens is, and I've experienced this as well, is that we get in relationship unprepared. Unprepared. We're not prepared. We haven't practiced it. We haven't studied it. We haven't even looked at ourselves. We haven't looked at our triggers. We're so busy being in a relationship with someone else, and we're not in a relationship with self. And that's who's most important. Remember, everyone say this with me. I am a whole person, meaning I'm a whole person. Like I'm not a half of a person, not three quarters of a person. I am a whole human being and I matter. All right. So again, speak calmly without raising your voice. Now, guys, your voice will become emphatic, but we have control. We have control. We can slow our rate, but when we slow our rate, let's not be sarcastic, or be condescending. All right. Sometimes we can do it with sarcasm, like I said, when you go, that's being sarcastic. All right. So again, we can lower our tone. We can slow our rate by simply taking a deep breath. And also we can avoid hurtful body language, such as eye rolling. All right. So again, as we think about our partner as our spouse, whoever that person may be, whoever we're dating, whatever we project onto them and whatever we think about here, we project onto them, and they must operate accordingly because the subconscious mind will now see them acting accordingly. I'm telling you, it's just like this. They make me sick. Well, guess what? That person has to make you sick. There's nothing they do that will make you well. I had to laugh at that. I'm sorry, guys. Just give me a minute. But seriously, there's nothing they're going to do that's going to make you well. Always do that. Always is going to always be always to you. And that's called oh God, that's a cognizant distortion. All right. That's called a cognizant distortion where it's either always or never. Most people say you never, well, you always, and the person may do it once a month. You follow what I'm saying? All right, use I statements. Remember, we stated we don't want to blame, we don't want to cast blame, we don't want to point blame. We want to address the situation. All right, the situation, the offense, not the person. We want to address the problem. All right, so I statements focus on the problem that's affecting you without assigning the blame. So your I statement will start with in the expression of the emotion that you feel. So, for example, I feel dismissed when you repeatedly disregard what I say or what I requested you. I feel dismissed when you repeatedly disregard what I request of you and you act as if you're going to bring change. That's an emotion, that's feeling. What's important, remember I said you have to realize that you matter. You are a whole person. There's no third, there's no quarter, there's no half of you. You are a whole person, which means you have to know your emotions. You have to be aware of your emotions. All right. So here's an example. Without the I statement, you would say, "You're so closed off. We need to talk more." It's broad, it's ambiguous, and it's casting blame. And it's as if the person it's a lifestyle and they do it every day. The correct way to say that is, I feel whatever emotion. For example, I feel lonely when we don't talk. I feel isolated when we don't talk. I feel disconnected when we don't talk. We have an emotion in there as well as a situation. All right. So these again are just pointers to help enhance our communication with one another. I think you really enjoy your relationship. I think you really want to enjoy your relationship, and you really don't want to be like these two people behind me, right? I know you don't. So there are some things that we have to apply and implement so that we can get better results than what we've seen, as well as than what we've been duplicating. All right. It says describe the problem clearly. Discuss only one problem at a time. All right. So if you have bullet points, you may want to share with them, babe, love, honey bun, my bearded king, or my gorgeous queen, however you want to address them. Okay. Um, Here are some things I like to have a few minutes with you so we can have a discussion about these things. All right. There are a few. So can I have your time? Also, another thing too is I share with couples something called salting. And of course, salting, you want to give them salt to make them thirsty. All right. It's a term used meaning, let's say after a long day, someone comes home. Hey babe, how was your day? Oh, it was a day. Right? That's what most men say. It was a day. Ain't nothing new about it. All right. And she may want to talk to him. All right. So she'll salt. And she says, well, when you get relaxed, and you take your shower, whatever the case may be, can we talk after that? I want to share some things with you. And he may say, with an attitude or with no attitude, oh, we can talk now. What's up? What's on your mind? Mind you, you salted, which means you've made him curious. You've made her curious because men can use this as well. It's a it's a non-defensive approach. It's an approach that displays consideration of their day, of their ride home, things of that nature. All right. So problems are going to arise. What matters is how we resolve those problems using peaceable solutions for the life we deserve. Okay. Describe the problem clearly. Discuss only one problem at a time. Be specific. Broad statements like the house is a mess may be misunderstood. You know, um, I remember growing up, when Alexis was growing up, I would say to her, "This room isn't clean." I said, "Go in there and clean your room. All right, go clean the room." Well, she would do what she would do, and I would come back, and the room would not be to my standard. One thing I had to realize as a parent is I had to demonstrate the return that I would get from her. I had to demonstrate what I wanted her to replicate. All right, so and I will walk her through the process. So in sweeping, you want to make sure you get all this, and this is how you get the corner clean, and then you can take the broom to knock the dust off the dustboard. Make sense? These are things that parenting is not easy, and it's not a one size fit all, and it's not a snapshot of just these one liner statements. It takes time to demonstrate and to help develop and nurture so that they can take a life of their own and a style of their own when implementing structure in their life. Lastly, I want to say, let's be respectful. All right. There's no need to call names. There's no need to make any kind of undermining statements. It's not necessary. Just be respectful. Make a polite request rather than a demand. So notice I said that when they come home, just make a request. All right. Control is an illusion. I learned this years ago that control is an illusion. You cannot control others, let alone it's a challenge controlling yourself. All right. So control is an illusion. Um, you make your request, and either the person honors it or they do not. When you choose to respect their will to honor it or their will to not honor it, it frees you. Okay. It frees you of any responsibility. You just make the request and they get to decide. Okay. Thank your partner for listening and addressing a problem. Give them thanks for listening. Babe, I really appreciate you, um, sitting with me to work through this. I thought one way, but thank you for clarifying. All right. Thank you for this time. So these are all tools necessary and conducive to a conversation that leads to resolve. And sometimes I just think that often we um, construe the idea of there being peace in relationship. You have to create that peace. It's not going to just happen by osmosis. We don't know everything about people. And I tell couples all the time that when you're married to someone, when you're in a relationship, you're gonna only get snippets of their life. I tell them all the time, listen, whether you choose me, Iyanla Vanzant, whether it be Oprah or whether it be Dr. Phil, you're gonna only get snippets. We're gonna only get snippets of what you choose to tell us and to share with us. I hope that this has been encouraging. I hope this has been enlightening. I hope this is beneficial to you, not just now, but the generations that are gonna come as a result of you taking these principles and applying them and demonstrating them in your marriage and in your relationships. Because remember, our legacy is looking to us. And as we learn, they should learn. We don't know everything as adults. We don't know everything. And we can see that because there's so much more for us to learn. So give grace to yourself. You've made it this far. Take these nuggets and apply them. Listen, my name is Chris. If you're interested in getting in contact with me, you can contact me at 803-386-9842 or reach out to us at www.peaceablesolutions.com. Again, that's www.peaceablesolutions.llc, please forgive me.com. Again, that's www.peaceablesolutions.llc.com. Follow us on Instagram as well as Facebook, as well as TikTok. We're there looking to see you there. Join us, follow us, support us, share us so that others can be inspired by these nuggets. Have a powerful day by choice. Be the best you because everyone else is already taken. Talk with you soon.